Hello everyone, Hippie here. Welcome to Tabletop Simulator. Welcome back, rather. We are going to play some Nemesis today. This is a game by Awoken Realms in collaboration with Rebel here. And it's a game that I have backed, and I am eagerly waiting for the physical copy of, but thankfully we have a Tabletop Simulator version of it, just so I'm not losing sleep thinking about it day in, day out. I love this game so much. It is very hard, though. Spoiler alert, I have not won this game once. So chances are it's not going to happen right now, but it might. I will go over the rules a little bit kind of as we go, but it won't really be a how to play. It'll just be a playthrough. But you guys can just sit back, relax, and enjoy watching me probably die. Which is, it's fun. It's fun, right? Anyway, so let's kind of get going with some things here. We're going to do the solo mode. And there's some automation with this mod, which is very nice. I'm going to do one player here. And kind of right off the bat, let me choose a character first, and then we'll talk about the overall situation. So in order to do that, I'm going to draw two of these characters. So we have the captain and the soldier to choose from. Both are really good characters, actually. This is a really good draw. I have experience with both of them. I think I prefer the captain, actually. Well, the soldier's probably a better solo player, so let's do the soldier this time. And we'll discard the captain. We're going to pick soldier over here. And then we are going to place our little player card down, even though it doesn't really matter because it's just us. But this does help you guys out with the player phases and kind of the overall cadence of the game. So we have our character here. We are the soldier. As you can see, our soldier, there he is. He looks really cool. There's this little figure, which is already on the board. Actually, just kidding. He is not on the board yet. He's right here. So we'll zoom in a little bit. Now, the actual game has a physical figurine, but this guy's just a little stand-in. But he looks very cool. As you can see, with our soldier, we start out with a energy assault rifle, which is very cool. It's got 5 rounds already in it, and has a little bit of a flavor text to it, or a little bit of a perk. So each time we deal at least 1 damage, we're going to deal additional damage just right then and there. Very awesome. We do have some side quests here. These are apart from our objectives, which we'll talk about here just in a minute. But these are like side quests. So if we complete these objectives here, we're actually going to unlock these items. So kind of something to think about in the background, because these items will definitely help us to survive and hopefully complete our objectives. Now, the objectives are right here. I'm going to lay them both down on the board here. And right now we do have 2 that we are dealt. However, when things start to get crazy and we encounter our first alien, or intruder rather, we're actually going to discard one of these and just only have to follow one objective. Okay. Was just double checking the rules there, but yes, in solo mode you still discard one of these objectives when you first encounter your an intruder. So let's just look at these real quick. So basically, in order to win, because that's kind of what you need to know when you play any board game, how do I win? Or else why am I even playing? I need to A, survive, and then B, I need to fulfill or complete one of these objectives. So we've got the place the blue character corpse object in the surgery room, and that is our friend right here, who has already died, unfortunately. So I need to actually perform surgery on him, or I need to send the signal, which basically is reaching back to Earth, because right now we're in the Nemesis in space, reaching out to Earth saying, hey, the Nemesis is overrun, we need help. In addition to doing that, I need to search all of the rooms. So I get to choose one of these, though. This one's probably going to be a lot easier if I can find the surgery room. And I think that is actually one of the rooms that is always Yes, surgery. So this is always going to be on the ship every single time. All of these number 1 rooms. The number 2 rooms are varied. There aren't enough 2 slots for all of these rooms every game. So you always have all of your number 1s, and then you have a handful of number 2s. And but anyway, so those are 2 objectives. We're going to discard one of them as we see our first intruder. Let's go ahead and confirm, which moves our character over here and hit begin. So a lot gets kind of removed here, all the clutter we don't need. Let's talk about the ship a little bit. So we start in the hibernatorium, I think is how you pronounce it. It's the hibernation room with all of our little cryo sleep cells. And alarms are flashing, just blaring, things are going crazy. We wake up from here and we find one of our comrades is already dead. Just a huge hole in their chest. Don't know what's going on. And because we just woke up from cryo sleep, we've got a little bit of a like amnesia, like temporary cryo sleep amnesia. So we actually don't really remember the layout of the ship. What we do remember, though, is that our ship is already in the process of jumping to hyperspace. Doing a hyperspace jump to whatever coordinates B are. So these coordinates Bravo, they are set for somewhere, and that is actually in this card right here that we can't look at just yet. But that could be going to Earth, could be going to Mars, could be going to Venus, it could be going to anywhere. And we want to make sure it's going to Earth, because we can't really survive anywhere else besides Earth. Now, we have 15 turns before the ship jumps to whatever this coordinate is. We do have the chance, if we make it back to the cockpit up here, to the bridge, we can either change verify the coordinates and change them so we are going to Earth. That'll be important. However, that doesn't do us much good if we have some of our engines broken. We need at least 2 engines out of the 3 working and operational in order for the ship to successfully jump and not just blow up from the force of the hyperspace. I don't know what the status is of these engines. I just woke up from cryo sleep, so I'm going to have to figure that out too if I want to survive. So again, none of our objectives here say for us to destroy the ship. So ideally, I could either stay in the ship and get to Earth, or I could use one of these escape pods, which are locked right now. And so we've got a few options here. And again, just to look at our personal quest markers, we do have to go to the armory and discard tools or duct tape to get armor, which is pretty cool. Anywho, so this is kind of the flow of the game. Let's move this guy over around here. So we have 15 turns before the ship jumps. On our turn here, this doesn't really matter, but this is a cool little space cat. It just indicates who goes first. And I'm going to draw up to 5 of these action cards. Now, these cards are what you draw every turn, and they are specific to my soldier. Now, there are some shared amongst everyone, like everyone has a search card, everyone has probably a reload, I believe. So I'm going to draw up to 5. Here are my 5. So if we look at these a little bit here, we got taking aim. So perform a shoot action with your energy weapon. You can re-roll your first result on the combat die. Very cool. A few things to take note of. Let's actually zoom in. Let's place this guy down and zoom in on him. So this card, we've got a few things here. This gun icon up here means that we only can use this during combat. If there's a X on that, we can only use it outside of combat. And if there are neither of the icons here, we can use it either or. And then this 0 means that in addition of playing this card, we would have to, well, I don't have a good example here, but if this said 1 or 2, we would have to play this card and then spend another card, or basically burn it or pay for it, whatever you want to word it as, in addition to this card. But thankfully all of these are 0. Let's put these all back in our hand and get going here. So a few things here. When it's our turn, we can do 2 actions. So the first thing we really want to do, I think because one of my objectives here is to do surgery on our comrade, we'll call him Frank. We need to do surgery on Frank here. So I'm going to have to pick him up. So you can see we've got two hands here, our left hand and right hand. I've got my gun, my assault rifle in my right hand. I'm going to pick up Frank, not really like carry him, but I'm going to drag him with my other hand. In order to do that, I need to, that's a basic action here. So I'm going to burn one card, and I guess really anything that I don't need right now, like demolition, don't need it right now. So I'm going to discard that to burn it, basically. So now that, burning that card appeases this, or I guess works for this one cost. So now I'm going to take up Frank here, and I'm just going to have him by my left hand here, and we're going to drag him. You know, he's dead, unfortunately, but hopefully we can find the surgery room. Now, I have one other action here before the end of my turn, and I'm going to use that as a basic movement action here. So that movement is this one right here. These are basic actions. You can do them anytime you want. Well, I guess anytime is your turn. So I'm going to burn another card, one that I don't necessarily need right now. I think I'm going to discard full auto, and that'll take place of my movement action. Now, in order to move, I can go to any room that has a corridor. So I can go to either this guy or this guy, because there are some corridors, or I can go over here or over here. I think what I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to head actually over here. I don't usually go, I usually beeline to one of these because they're just right there. But instead I'm going to go on this corridor. So I'm going to flip this room over. See what it is. Okay. Not great. Not great there. So it's just a room covered in slime. It's just a basic room. Don't get anything good about it. So let's go ahead, and this doesn't matter anymore. So this basically is kind of shows you the status of the room once you find it, but since it's a slime room, that doesn't really matter. I know that had an X there, which normally means if you're covered in slime with an X, it means you do kind of a big noise, but I always take that when it's that situation, I always take it as those kind of cancel, and I get the slime first. So I am going to be covered in slime, which is unfortunate, but it's an inconvenience, but not terrible. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. There are some things that can be really bad if I am covered in slime. But yes, so basically I took one of these little tokens over my slime icon here. Now that is my turn. I did my two actions there. I picked up Frank, and then I moved to this room. That's my two actions. So now we're going to move on forward to the event phase. So we're going to move the time track down by 1. So now the ship is just one step closer to jumping. And we have no intruders, thankfully, so we don't have to deal with that. There's no fire on the ship, so we don't have to deal with that. But next we are going to resolve one of the event cards. Now these are like where the real fun stuff happens. This is what makes this game very random and very punishing. We're going to draw one of these and flip it over. So we're going to go back over here and... yep, so we're going to resolve this. So normally when you flip over an event card, first thing you do is move any intruders that aren't in combat with another player. You're going to move them around. If they match, these symbols are different intruder types, and they match these symbols over here. So if any of them are on the board that match these symbols, you're going to move them through corridor 2. Whatever room they're in right now, you're going to move them through corridor 2 to that other room. We don't have any intruders on the board, so we're gonna ignore that. Now we need to go through this event here. So life support failure. That doesn't sound great at all. Place a malfunction marker in each green room. We don't have any green rooms right now because we just explored the first event, so not a big deal. It does say remove this event from the game and shuffle the events. So we're gonna do that and just shuffle again. Kind of a non-event there, thankfully. Last thing we need to do is go ahead and draw a alien, or I guess an intruder, from the intruder bag. This is never a fun thing to do. I always hate it. We're going to draw one, and it's a larva now. So basically we drew the larva, and it says we're going to remove this token from the bag, but instead we're going to add an adult token to our bag here. Now this bag is basically like our intruder spawn pool. You can kind of think of it like that. So essentially what happened was a little larva grew up to be a big adult, I guess, somehow. Sure. That happened. So now we have more adults in here to choose from, which is always a fun time, right? But that's it. That was one turn. We went through all the phases rather quickly because it's the start of the turn. So now we're on the next phase, or I guess next round. And I'm going to draw back up to 5 because I played 2, so I'm going to draw 2 from my deck here. I've got rest and interruption. So I need to be thinking about a few things here. I need to be thinking about our objectives here. I need to find that surgery room, and then possibly the armory. And if I can, it'd be great if I could find tools or duct tape. So basically searching for some rooms here. So I've got 2 other options here. I'm going to make it my way towards the cockpit. So I'm going to go through... I'm going to go through this room here. So I'm going to discard 1 card. Let's discard rest. We're going to move through corridor 2 over here. And it's the engine control room. Interesting. So I'm already slimed, so that doesn't really matter anymore. Now, however, unlike last room where I had the X there, which meant I really didn't make any noise, it was kind of a weird situation. I do need to roll for noise. Basically, I'm making, as I'm walking through the ship, I'm making noise, and then all of these intruders who are somewhere, possibly, they're kind of listening around. They're hunting for us. They're trying to find some more blood here. I guess Frank wasn't enough, so I do need to roll my little roll die here for noise to kind of figure out where I make noise at. And that is a 4. So now I need to place a marker on corridor number 4. So there that guy is. We do need to move our room to... We have 3 items in this room is what this kind of status token did. So our little status marker is right here. So we're going to shuffle this guy, kind of indicating that there are 3 items in this room, and we'll just delete that guy. So not a bad thing here. We are in the engine control room, which is actually perfect. I'm still not sure if I want to use an escape pod or wait for sleep again. I'm thinking I might want to sleep instead because it's easier to sleep than using escape pods. So in order to do that, I have to wait for round 8 here for the sleep pods, the cryopods to open up again. Right now they're closed. So if I am going to be sleeping to survive, I need to make sure that the coordinates are set to Earth and that the engines, 2 out of 3, are working right. So we got pretty lucky here with our engine control room. So I think I can only do 1 at a time. Let me look at that real quick, because that's a big deal if not. I mean, it just says check the engine status. You can check the status of the 3 engines. And so it doesn't specify... I don't know, that might be kind of cheating, but it doesn't specify 1 engine. It just says of the 3 engines. I would read that as maybe all of them. So we can't fix them if they're broken, but we can at least check them. So in order to do that, I do need to burn 2 cards here to do this room's kind of action. So what do I want to get rid of? Let's get rid of interruption. And let's see, discard 1 ammo, move yourself and or 1 other chosen character within your room without triggering. Okay, that's actually a really good card. I guess we'll discard search for right now. So we're going to basically flip up these engine tokens because I'm searching for them. I'm checking the status of them from our little control room here. So, hey, green, that's good. Okay, not good. And not good. Okay, so now I know at least I need to beeline to one of these to fix them. But at least we know what's going on. We kind of know the state now. So that is my turn. We remember we moved, and then we did our room action. So that takes place of our 2 actions. So now it's time for the event phase again. We're going to move the time tracker 1 more up. We're going to do any intruder attacks. We don't have any. No fire damage, so we're going to do another event card. this time. We have lurking. Okay. So we have no intruders on the board, so we don't have to take care of the front or the top movement phase. So we're going to do this here. Remove all intruders which are not in a room with any character from the board. Put their respective tokens back into the intruder bag. That's kind of neat. I guess. I mean, they don't... They kind of flee and scurry, and then... Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's another non-event here, which is lucky. And then for my favorite part here. This is great. Another adult here. So what we're going to do is we're going to do one of our noise. So all players roll for noise if they're not in combat. We have a 1. And thankfully we don't have a noise marker in our corridor number 1. So we are safe this turn. And it does say to return this token back to the bag. And with that, we are now onto our phase again. I mean, this game does move fast. They do advertise 35 minutes per player in a game. So you have 2 players. You know, it's about an hour. Kind of add 35 minutes from that. And if once you learn the mechanics and learn the rules, everything does move really quickly. So again, we are going to move up to our 3, which is actually all of the ones here. I'm actually going to go ahead and shuffle these in. Oh, I'll do that next. I don't want to waste anything here. So we've got a few options. We know that we need to make it back to one of these engines here. But first, since I'm so close to the cockpit, I might actually make my way over to this room. I'm going to do what's called a careful movement, because I know that I already have a movement or a noise token right here. So if I just did a normal basic movement for 1 action and I rolled the noise die, if I got a 3 or a 4, it would make an alien spawn, or an intruder rather, spawn in my room, and I don't really want that. So a careful movement is going to take 2 actions, so it's going to burn more from us, which is not great. So I'm going to do this guy. We'll do our search here. However, I get to choose where to put the noise token, because I'm basically creeping around, I guess, and just being very careful about where I make noise. So again, we're going to flip this over. And this is the laboratory. Okay, interesting. This is pretty interesting, though. I like it. This has 1 room. Where is our noise? I always put the thing where I need it. So we have 1 item here, and there's a door. So where I came from, which was this corridor, we're actually going to put a door here that is closed. And that's kind of face it right here, so it looks pretty immersive. Now this noise still affects this whole corridor, but now we have a closed door here. So it does restrict some movement for both myself and intruders. Thankfully, this room, this lab, is not... it's not broken. So we could, for instance, analyze Frank here and see kind of what happened to him. And now that we are in the lab with all these lab instruments and equipment, we can get a better idea of a better understanding of what we're expecting here. So I'm going to burn 2 more cards here. Now this is pretty dangerous for me to do. The fewer cards you have in your hand, the more susceptible you are to getting a surprise attack if someone jumps in your room. So just in case, I'm going to do everything besides this card here. This card basically negates a surprise attack. So we're going to burn both of these here. And I don't technically need to do this, but for just role-playing, I guess, I'm going to see what Frank's all up to. So what we do here is now that we are inspecting our character corpse here, we get to flip over this thing right here. So now we get to figure out a weakness to these intruders. What's making them tick? How can we beat them? And here we go. So this is actually pretty nice here. So the value of surprise attacks is reduced by 1 to a minimum of 1. That's pretty important. Again, just like I talked about, if we have someone that jumps into our room, they're going to have a number associated with them. We can now, because we've inspected Frank here, we now get to reduce that number by 1, which helps for us not getting surprise attacked. Very nice, very nice. Now, let me just double check something real quick. I want to make sure I don't have to spend another action to kind of pick him back up. I don't think you technically remove him. Nope, I think we're okay. So I basically just dragged him. I'm going to drag him back into my hand. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I believe that is still a valid legal thing there. So those were my two actions, I believe. We did the movement, the careful movement rather, and then we did the... in fact, I don't think I placed a noise marker with that. So let's put it right here, because yeah, I did the careful movement, but I didn't place that noise marker afterwards. I got so excited about exploring. I do that sometimes. But that's okay. So at least we didn't generate, this place is pretty full though, but we did not get an intruder with us. And we kind of know a little bit about them now. So those are my two actions. Let's go ahead and move on to the event phase again. So time is ticking away. We're already on round 12, believe it or not. We have no intruders on the board, so we don't have to do another intruder attack. We have no fire damage or anything like that. So let's go ahead and do another event card. And again, no intruders on the board, so we don't have to do that top movement action, but we do have to do this coolant link. So if there's a malfunction marker in the generator room, start the self-destruct countdown. Remove this card from the game and shuffle the deck. Thankfully, we don't know where the generator room is, so we don't have to do that, and the ship's not going to self-destruct. So we lucked out there. Again, we're getting, I don't even want to say that. We're getting okay with these event draws, but I don't want to risk anything. We're going to draw this thing here, and it's going to be another adult here. So we're going to make a noise token, and unfortunately, no matter what we roll, actually we could roll a silence. We basically need to roll a silence here to avoid any sort of combat, which is an X here. So let's get lucky, and it's a 2, which means we are going to make too much noise here, and something's going to appear, which is great. So when this happens, technically we would be putting a noise marker on this 2 corridor, and if you have a corridor with 2 noise tokens, that means that you summon a intruder, and you're going to clear out all the noise tokens from the room that you're in, and you're going to, I forgot to draw this guy back in here. It says it does auto shuffle, so that's good. We're going to draw another person here, and okay, thankfully it's just a little larva. So we got really lucky there. It's a larva of 1. So what that number basically means is, because I summoned an intruder here, the intruder has a number right here. And this is that surprise attack number. Since I've got 1 card in my hand still, I'm okay. But say the number was 3 and I only had 1 card in my hand. Well, because of our weakness here that we exploited, that 3 would be a 2. But that 2 would still be more than my 1, so they would get a free attack on me. But that's not the case here, so a larva is now in here. I'm going to put this larva up here and put a little larva token right here. So now I've got a larva just hanging out with me, having a good time. This is actually a pretty interesting thing, though. I say that, but now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think... So say I kill a larva. I don't think larvae become a carcass. I think they just kind of explode when you kill them. I think that's the case. Yeah, so it does say if it's an egg or a larva here in the instructions or the manual, we just remove them from the board. It's not like the pieces, as gory as that sounds, it's not enough to actually make a sustainable corpse for us to scan. But that's okay. Larvas, they're not terrible. However, that is the turn for them. So we're gonna draw back up to our 5, which we're gonna need to flip this over, move our discard back to our action, and then shuffle a bit, and then draw back up to 4 or to 5. Now, however, since we do have an intruder here, we do need to have a very important decision to make. I think it's already one that we've made already, but we need to choose one of these options here, these objectives. I think I'm going to go with our surgery room one still. I don't think exploring all of the ships is doable. I think I've got a better chance of finding the surgery room and then going back to sleep than sending the signal in the comms room and then exploring all of the rooms. So I'm just going to delete this guy, and we now have our objective set aside, good to go. So yeah, now we have to survive and fulfill this objective. So let's see. We are in combat. So when you're in combat, you'll basically your actions are limited to either fleeing or attacking. Now, with it being a larva, I've got a pretty good chance of killing it. So what I'm going to do is do our basic shoot here, which is going to be one action. Let's go ahead and get rid of... Let's get rid of rest. We're going to bring our gun ammo down by 1. Then we're going to roll our little attack die. And it is a... it's bare minimum, but it will work. Yep, so if the target is a larva or creeper, we deal 1 damage, which is enough to kill it. So there we go. We had a larva come in. We'll just delete that guy. And we got rid of it. So now that we're not in combat, that was our first action, though. We still have 1 more to deal with. Now that we're not in combat, we can open up our actions again. I think what I want to do is go to the cockpit, and I will have to wait until next turn, but I'd like to verify that we're going to Earth. So I'm going to get rid of another card here. Let's get rid of full auto, I think. Discard all ammo from the assault rifle to perform a shoot action. You deal 1 injury for every 2 ammo discarded, even if you miss. That's really nice. You kind of just go all out and go to town. So we're doing a movement action now. Probably should have searched here, because this basically the rooms are colored. You've got red, yellow, green, and white. So this is basically medical supplies. I could have searched the lab for some more medical supplies and actually grabbed some, but with our time being a little down more, I might come back to this room. But I'm going to move to this room, and I do need to do a noise roll. Okay, and that is a 4. Not terrible. So we're making a noise right in this corridor. Unfortunately, that is my turn. I cannot, since I'm in the cockpit, though, I cannot... it says right here, I do have to spend the 2 to either check the coordinates or set the destination. So it has to be 2 turns for that. But that is next turn. So I have to wait here in the cockpit and deal with another event phase. So... event phase time, we get to move the time track up 1 more. We're on turn 11 already. We have no intruders that are on the board with us, so that intruder attack phase does not matter. No fire on the ship, thankfully. So another event card we go. Okay, so if we had adults or breeders on the board, we would move them through corridor 1. However... that doesn't matter because there are none on the board, but this other thing does matter. So the bulkheads open. Remember, we did have that closed door right here. This is now going to be opened. So it's not really destroyed. It's just open now. So unfortunately, we did kind of have that blocked off. Well, I don't know. Maybe fortunately, we can kind of go through our same route again. It's better to go where you already know. However, we do need that surgery room still, so I do need to look through unexplored tiles still. But that's okay. So another non-event, thankfully. We just open up the door again. And I believe we are now on our intruder bag development. My favorite part of this game, sarcasm. Okay, adult. So again, we're making 1 other noise roll. And that is a 4. Which, thankfully that's what I just did. So, yeah, we get another fun intruder. I hate that there's so many adults in the bag. That's how it's designed in this game. So you're constantly making noise rolls, even outside of movement. So I rolled a 4. So the noise marker is going to go on the 4 again. So I'm just going to remove that because we get to have a nice little thing here. So what are we going to spawn? We're going to spawn... oh, okay, another larva. I'm getting lucky with that, I guess. So we're going to spawn a larva, and the larva is 1, which we've got 3 cards. so it's no surprise attack. You can still get surprise attacked by a larva, and instead of them attacking you, they just they infest your body, and it's a good time for everyone. Okay, well, we got a larva now. We're going to put this guy back in the little token. And that is the turn. We're back now to our player phase. And now I'm technically in combat again. So what I'm going to do is probably remove... I'm going to do a shoot action. So I'm going to burn probably our search. Yeah, I think I'm going to burn the search to shoot. We're going to lower our ammo by 1. And I really have a lot of chances here besides one chance. I think there's one side of this die that won't work. And, of course, it's the one that didn't work. That's a blink, so, you know, that's fine. We missed. Thankfully, though, we're shooting, so we missed, and that's okay. It's nothing bad. But I do need to discard another card here. I'm going to hold on to my Nerves of Steel because I feel like I'm going to get it jumped here soon. I'm going to shoot again, which means my gun goes down again. We're running out of ammo. Not good. Okay. Thankfully, we rolled a adult attack. So basically, adults and lower hit. So adults, creepers, and larvae. So we hit for 1. He is dead. Fortunately, that was my 2 attacks. I was planning on checking the coordinates during this round, but that didn't happen. Those were my 2 attacks, my 2 actions. It's time for the event phase. I don't think I didn't draw up to 5 that turn, so I had this. I would have drawn 2. Okay. I'm going to stick with what I did, but I just didn't draw up to 5. Okay. When you commentate on a game, you sometimes forget because you're still commentating. Good stuff. So, yep, that's the 2 actions. Let's go ahead and move on to our event phase. We're going to move the time tracker up 1 more. And then we're going to do another event card. And this event card is Noise and Technical Corridors. So again, no intruders, so we don't have to deal with the movement at the top. Place a noise marker in the technical corridor if there isn't one already. So the technical corridor is this guy right here. So that's pretty bad. Basically, this technical corridor, it's kind of like a ventilation, like a maintenance shaft. And all of these rooms with this red on it now technically have a noise marker. They're all connected like a giant web or a giant grid. So say I'm in this room and I roll a 1 or 2. Well, technically there's already a noise in there, so that means we spawn an intruder. Not good. Let's go ahead and do another, we'll do our bag development here. And we have a little creeper there. So remove this token from the bag and add 1 breeder token. Oh, that's not good. Well, you know, I'm sure that's fine. I'm sure that's okay. Moving on here, I'm not going to forget this again. We're going to draw up to our 5. And then we have our 2 actions here. I do want to check the coordinates here. So we're going to spend our 2 actions to check the coordinates here. So in this cockpit, we spend 2 to either check the coordinates or set the destination. I wish that was and. I guess it takes a lot of time to check the coordinates and set them. So real game time, you would kind of use up your whole turn doing that. But I wish. So we're going to burn 2 cards here. Let's go ahead and do our interruption. And we'll do... these are all so good. Let's do search, I guess. So now we finally get to check the coordinates here. And B is going to Venus, not Earth. So next turn... well, no, that was my first turn. So I get to burn 2 more, but do I want to do that? I think I do, because I do have my anti-surprise attack card I'm going to hold on to. So that was my first turn. I'm going to burn 2 more, which these are good cards, but that's okay. And we're going to change this guy. We're going to plot the course to C here, to Charlie, back to Earth. That is important. If we didn't do that, we would have, even if we had the engines repaired, which they still aren't repaired, even if we had that and fell back asleep, we would have woken back up. And what was that, Venus? Yeah, we woken up in Venus and just died because Venus isn't good. Those are my actions. Moving on here. Our next time. So now we're on 8. We're almost to the point where our sleeping bays, our cryo bays, are now open again. So they're still closed. Next turn they will open back up. but we still have work to do. We still need to repair one engine and find the surgery room. So we've got some work to do, and there are unfortunately a lot of rooms still needing to be searched for. Hopefully we get lucky and the surgery is on our way back to the cryo bay. Hopefully, though. Probably not. This game is not very kind to me, so probably not, though, but we'll see. So we go ahead, we move the time track, and we have no intruders or fire. I say the game hasn't been kind to me, but this has been a very tame game compared to others. So let's go and do our event. And so move every adult not in combat. And again, that's another non-event because we have no adults not in combat or on the board at all. Let's go ahead and move this. It is another adult, so we're going to do another noise roll. Thankfully, this won't be... Yeah, that's a 3. So that won't be terrible. We're going to place a 3 now here. We're going to place that adult token back in the bag. Okay, things are getting crazy. We're going to draw back up to 5. So how many's in here? Just the 1. So we're going to do, I guess, 1 and then 3. Oh, I didn't shuffle. Oh, no, I didn't shuffle. Let's group those, flip them, and shuffle. Now 3. Okay. Not bad, actually. Not bad. So we still have our Nerves of Steel. Let's go ahead and... Okay, at least we've got this half of the ship okay. I do need to search. I kind of have a very sketchy time. Do I go this way of the ship or this way? I mean, I'm kind of locked into... I don't think I can go and explore the rest of the ship in time. Maybe. Unless I just keep booking it and make a lot of noise. I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to do a careful movement, because if I roll a 3, that's an intruder. A 1 or 2 is an intruder, so I have to roll a 4. So I'm going to do a careful movement. Again, that's going to be the 2 cards to burn. Let's do full auto, I guess. Before I forget, let's put a noise token on 4. Let's go ahead and explore this room. Hopefully it's surgery. It's not. It's one of the escape pods, which is not terrible, but it is broken. Which I don't know. Yeah, I guess you can still... yeah, I'd need to fix that first. So let's put a broken malfunction token. This is our first malfunction token of the game, which is kind of surprising almost halfway through the game. Basically, what this means is I cannot use this room's action. This room is broken until I fix it. And this room, in particular, lets me get into the escape pod A, which is still locked. So a lot of not fun going on right now. Let's go ahead and move our token. So that was my first action. Let's see. I still need to find the surgery room. I am still dragging Frank along somehow in my left hand and shooting with my right hand. So, let's see. I can only go down really this corridor. I think because I've got my Nerves of Steel here, I'm going to do another careful movement. I'm not too worried about not only having 1 card for a surprise attack, because this guy will just disregard the surprise attack. But I don't really want unnecessary intruders around here, so I'm going to do another careful movement. Let's say on 3. Let me burn my 2 before I forget. 1 and 2. And let's see what this is. Hopefully it's surgery. It's the shower room, which is nice, because I'll get rid of my slime. Thankfully, I haven't ran into any silent moves, or else that would be the opposite of silent. And how interesting. In the shower room, I would have gotten slimed if I wasn't slimed already. Interesting. Well, I did rotate the room to match the 4 objects here, 4 items to search. And let's go ahead and move our guy in here. We already did our noise, so that would be the end of my turn. Next turn, what I can do is kind of rinse off and get the slime off me with 2 actions. And then I'd probably move, but we'll see here. Again, that's the end of my player phase. Moving on to the event phase. The cryopods are now open, thankfully. But there's still a lot to do. Still a lot to do, and I'm running out of time. Okay, we can disregard the intruder attack, the fire damage. Let's go back to the event card. And, interesting. Okay, so consuming fire, set item counter to 0 in each room with a fire marker. Place a fire marker in each room neighboring a room with fire. Fire is not spread through the technical corridors or closed doors. Thankfully, that is a very dangerous card. I've actually had games end in like a second as soon as that card spawns. We have no fire, so that thankfully does not matter. Oh, that's a scary card. Okay, moving on. And we summoned yet another adult, and I swear there are other cards in there, but they have a lot of adult tokens in there. So we're going to put that adult back in. I'm going to do another noise roll. Hopefully it's not one that we... It's a 1. Okay, we are okay. We are okay. Whew. Now it's our turn. Let's draw back up to 5. So we'll do our 4 there. We have our 2 actions. I am going to rinse off here, so I'm going to do my 2 actions to get the slime off me. So let's do our basic repairs and our interruption. I did that in the opposite order, but that's okay. So that does clean off our self... See if the shower room is on here. Yes, it is. So if you have a slime marker, discard it. Additionally, you may choose to scan all contamination cards in your hand and remove all non-affected cards or infected cards. So thankfully, we don't have any of that nonsense going on, but we are going to rinse off, and now we're not slimed, which is good. Good times there. Well, we need to do another careful movement here, because I don't want to roll a 3 or a 4, because we still have noise in the technical corridors. So I need to roll a 1 or 2. Might as well burn my other 2 cards to do a careful movement here. We'll put that on 1 or 2 and search this room here. So, well, we move silently anyway, which I wouldn't have noticed, or I wouldn't have figured that out. I don't know, I guess, do you flip first? Let me see here. Do you flip first? Or do you... It is, okay, you actually do flip the stuff first. I'm doing it a little bit wrong here. You flip the stuff first and then do the noise roll if possible. So I can actually remove this guy because we have the X here, which means that we did that silently. So I'm going to grab my 2 cards back that I discarded. Kind of something I've been doing a little bit wrong order. That's okay. So thankfully, we went in here silently. Now, if I still had my slime on, actually, that silent movement would have meant a big, loud movement, and we would have put noise markers on everywhere that doesn't have a noise marker. Pretty bad stuff. Okay, not surgery, but it's the emergency room. And we're going to move that to 1 item here. Okay, emergency room. I'm not wounded at all, I don't think, so we don't really need this. That was my 2, those were my 2 actions. But that is good to know. We can search for no more medical supplies because it's green, or we could treat a lot of our wounds there. But we are running out of time here, so that is the end of my player phase. We're going to move on to our time track. Intruder, fire, event. And here we go. Uh-oh. This is bad. So, again, we don't have to worry about any movement because we've been lucky with our larvae that have spawned. But we remove 1 escape pod token with the lowest number. Yikes. So, basically, one of our escape pods just kind of detached from the Nemesis and kind of jettisoned back into space. So, with the lowest number, which would be this guy. So, this guy is gone. Out in space, just gone. So our plan B here to use this escape pod is now not feasible anymore. So basically the evacuation sections, you've got an A and B room. The A connects to your A pods, B connects to your B pods. And since we're playing a 1-player game, you only have 2 escape pods. So basically we need to find... Yeah, remove one escape pod token with the lowest number. I guess that would be A or... Oh, okay, 1, 2. That number. Okay, so we still did that right, the lowest number. So now if I really want to do a plan B to use an escape pod, I have to find the evacuation section B room. So that's unfortunate. We're going to remove this event from the game and shuffle. So that lovely fire card is now back in the mix. Oh boy, this game. Another adult. I swear. It does say if you hover, yep, this will auto shuffle after a new intruder is back in there. So it is shuffling, but there are just so many adults in there now. And that is a 3. So where I am means intruder. Oh no. Okay, that's fine. Now we get to see what we draw. So again, this is going to get placed in here. It's going to shuffle. And we get to figure out what joins us in the emergency room. What else besides the queen? I mean, really, what else? The game literally, the game has some balance to it. You know, I've been fighting larvae this whole time. Why not go from the easiest enemy to the hardest enemy? That makes sense, right? Okay, well, I've got to do a few things here. So let's first move the queen to my room. That's a lot of fun. And this number is a 4, which turns out to be a 3 because of our weakness here of vulnerability. So I don't have to use my Nerves of Steel, thankfully, because I've got the same amount of cards as the number. Let me just make sure. Yeah, if the player has fewer cards in their hand, then it's a surprise attack. So we're okay there. I can hold on to my get out of jail free card, basically. This queen's just dancing, just having a time of her life. Let's go ahead and make some room for her. Yeah, that's great. That's fantastic. It's my turn. So let's draw 2 cards. Was that just one? That was just one. So let's do that, shuffle, and one more. We are technically in combat, which means we got to do some combat stuff here. We've got take aim. We do have covering fire. Ooh. I think this is a perfect time to use covering fire. So I get to basically... I discard 1 ammo. And remember what I said, when you're in combat, you have 2 options. You either attack or flee. Well, if I were to flee without that card, I would get attacked by the queen. The queen would get a cheap shot at me, kind of slash me in the back as I run away like a little baby. But I'm basically going to be like facing the queen, doing my covering fire here. It's still going to discard 1 ammo, which I'm down to 1 shot left. But now I get to move to another room without having that intruder attack me. So that is beautiful. Which means we get to do that, figure out what's going on here. That is a malfunction, and that's evacuation B, but it is broken. So that is our 1 and our broken. Now, I think I still roll for noise because... oh, it's right here. Because I moved into a room that doesn't have anything in it. That is a 2. So I guess that kind of makes sense. I'm making noise from the corridor I came from. I get it. I see what you're doing there, game. You're making sense. That was my 1 movement. I'm out of combat now. Technically, I'm out of combat, even though the queen's still here. So I need to fix this corridor. I probably want to fix that. Here's what I'm thinking about here, just for people that don't know this game. Even if I fix this room, that's not going to make this escape pod get unlocked. There's only a few ways to unlock escape pod. The first way, which is pretty risky, is to start the self-destruct sequence, and after it gets to this point here, similar to this event, that will unlock the escape pods. Or I can find it like an escape pod room. What is that room called? So many rooms. So little time. It is called... Yeah, hatch control system. So that is how we can unlock an escape pod. So it's kind of two things there. You need to make sure they are unlocked, and then you need to go to one of these rooms to get into it. So that was my one action, thankfully. I'm going to do another movement here. I'm not going to do a careful movement because I really don't care about what it rolls. So we're going to go ahead and do this, which is another broken. And that is the comms room, which I don't need to use. Let's go ahead and move that to the 2. And then roll for noise. And that is a 3. I'm going to put this guy on 3 here. And move us around and delete this guy. Those are my 2 actions. Unfortunately, we're still... I guess we're kind of making our way back to the damage engine. We're getting some good coverage here, but we are running out of time. So I think I moved that time tracker. I think. If I didn't, then I'm sorry, but I think I did. Those are my 2 actions. So now I get to move the time tracker down to 6. And we do, now that the intruder is here, they're not going to attack us, but we do care about the movement card here. So the queen is going to move down corridor number 4. Oh, interesting. So because the corridor number 4 is the technical corridor, the queen basically flees. So the queen's going to go back into the kind of the maintenance hatches, and the queen gets back into our spawn bag. So that's actually kind of nice. That helps, but this doesn't help. So place a fire marker in the hibernatorium. So that's our first fire of the game. So our cryopods, where ideally I want to sleep and head back to Earth, is on fire, which is great. So yeah, place a fire marker there if it's already there, which it wasn't. Yep, that's a good time. Now we get to draw another, okay, we got another larva. Not terrible, but that just means another adult is in here, and this larva is out. My turn again. I'm going to draw one more to get up to 5. And I need to ideally move to this room, and do I have a... I don't have my... Oh, that's annoying. I don't have my repair card. So I think I'm going to have to do 2 movements here. It'd be more efficient to move here first and then beeline back here once I get that card. So I'm going to do 1 movement, and this was a closed door, but it does mean I still make noise. That is a 3. So... Okay, well, that's not good because the 3 is still in the technical corridor. So something still spawns here, but now that there's no noise here, I need to make sure I do my card for moving. And now we get to spawn someone. And we spawn a breeder. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, the breeder with a 3. We're okay on there. No surprise attack. There's a breeder in the canteen. Oh boy. Okay, well, that's fine. I need to move this thing around to 2 objects and place a door where I just came from because of that door icon. So now there's a closed door kind of separating us right there, but there's still a breeder in here. So, you know, that's a thing. Okay, well, now I'm technically in combat. That was my first action. What do I do? I don't want to move into the room with fire. I'd have to move over here, but if I move, I'm going to take my first hit of the game, which, being turn 6, is pretty generous, I'd say. I could do a taking aim, but I think right now, time is of the essence. I need to make more ground. So I'm going to have to take the slash here. So I am going to move. So I'm going to get rid of my rest, I think. I'll get rid of my search. So we're going to do that to get rid of 1 card. And we're going to run through this room. Whatever it's going to be is going to be broken. And that is another one that we... Did I put a... I think we're okay. So the breeder's going to attack me here. So this is our first attack of the game, so we're going to draw one of these here, and if the breeder icon is here, which it is, that means the breeder attacks me. The attack lands. So I suffer 1 light wound, and I get a contamination card. So this is great. I mean, that's a good time, right? So this goes into my discard, and I get 1 light wound, which is not a bad, not really terrible. I'm really worried about this thing. I'll explain that later, but that's not terrible. I am in the armory, which once it's fixed, I could replenish my ammo here. I'd have to fix that, though. So those were my 2 actions. I guess let's go ahead and keep going. So move the time track. I am really running out of time. I still need to find the surgery room, repair an engine, and then sleep again. Or I could find the surgery room and then unlock the escape pod and get back to fix this room and get back here. I don't know. It's not looking good for me. Anyway, so we move the time over. Let's go ahead and finish everything else here. So intruder attack. There are no intruders in the same room as me. No intruders in the same room as a fire. So now we're going to go through our event card, which we need to, now that there are people around, need to worry about the movement, which the breeder icon is up there. So we're going to move the breeder down corridor number 1, which, interesting enough, the corridor, when this happens, is they basically bash their way through this door. So this door is now broken, but they stay in this room, or at least for this turn. So she, I guess assuming she, tried to get through door number 1 here. Couldn't get through. Broke it though, so now it can be accessible or moved through, but stays in this room. And then we resolve the rest of the thing here. So each intruder on the board heals for 2 injuries. Well, we didn't actually hurt her, so that's not a big deal. So let's go ahead and draw this, and it's a blank. So we add 1 adult intruder if there are no adult intruders available. Of course there are. So, and then we actually return this to the bag. So interesting enough, I mean, I guess that's okay. It's our turn again. We're going to draw up to our 5. We do have our basic repairs. I don't think, you know, actually that's probably worth it. I do need to recharge my ammo here. That's going to be worth it. You do not want to do melee attacks in this game. Absolutely not. It's not worth it. So I want to stock up on ammo. So in order to do that, I do need to spend 2 to do some basic repairs. Yeah, melee attacks are not good in this game. So there's our basic repairs, and I needed that for the engine as well. Oh no, what do I do here? Do I actually want to do that, or do I want to move and repair? It's a tough choice. I've got 1 shot left. Do I spend a turn, a valuable turn here, because I'm running out of turns here? Do I spend a turn and stock up on ammo, or do I just run with my 1 bullet and get some more rooms cleared? I basically can go to 2 rooms each turn. So I've got, what, 3 turns left because this is going to go next turn. Let's just say 4. So 2... I do have enough. It's going to be tight, though. I'd have to get back to the... yeah, this is tough. I think what I'm going to have to do is a very costly thing. I'm going to actually get this back in my hand. I'm not going to repair and recharge. I'm going to actually move to this room and repair the engine. That's the better thing to do. I'd rather be hurt and bruised than blown up. So I'm going to do a 1 movement here. Let's get rid of search. We're going to head over here. Still need to make that noise roll, unfortunately, which is a 1. Not a big deal. We're going to make a 1 here. And I'm going to spend my 2 basic repairs. And I'm going to get rid of these other guys here because I want to keep my nerves of steel. This rest is a good one. but I need to keep my nerves of steel. So this guy now is repaired. So what do I do here? Do I change the state? What does it say? What did it tell me? I just need to read. Just need to read. Change status, right click on the deck, search. Okay. Search, and we need to get this guy back on here. I guess move this. There we go. Okay, well, things are looking up. I should have used this in the armory though, to get my auto loader. What does this even do? It has another ammo slot. If the assault rifle is loaded using the energy charge item, that cost is 0. Do I even have the energy charge item? I don't know what that is. Using the energy charge item. That must be an item, probably in the weapons item. That might be. So that's not really worth it. Anyway, it's better to work towards fixing the ship, which we are now. We are heading to Earth. We fixed the ship. We still need, though, to complete. We need to find that surgery room because we're still dragging Frank around somehow. We're just dragging him along. He's just having a bad time. I mean, he's dead, but he's still having a bad day. Was that was our one? No, that was 2 because we moved and repaired. Okay, whew, here we go. Another time track down to turn 4. Things are getting spicy. Intruder attack, which isn't going to happen, but the fire thing, there's no one in the fire room, which is just the hibernatorium, thankfully. Next event card. Oh man, okay. Thankfully, the breeder's not going to move. Okay, and no one has a slime marker, so that's good. Whew, that's another non-event. But hopefully this is not bad. It's another adult. Why are they always adults? Why? Why? Hey, that's a silence. Oh, that's a beautiful silent roll. Beautiful. Okay, let's draw back up to our 5. This is 2. And 2. Okay, we've got a few things here. We do have our basic repairs. Full auto. Interruption. We've got some junk cards to get rid of. Interruption doesn't really matter when you're doing a solo game. Demolition, I don't really know why you would ever use this besides just blowing up a closed door. I mean, this game with other people is a semi-cooperative game, so you don't always play nicely with others. I guess that would be what you would do. Anyway, though, I think I need to be playing a little bit recklessly here because we need to explore more. We need to get Frank in the surgery room, and then I need to get out of here. So I'm going to do... oh, that is a double corridor. I need to do a careful action here. I need to do a careful movement. So let's get rid of interruption and demolition here. Oh, I need to actually first flip and see if it's... Okay, so it's not a silent. So demolition, interruption. We're going to put that noise marker. We're moving here. So we're going to put this guy, let's say, along 4. And we're going to flip this guy over. It's a nest. Oh, no. Why? Why, game? Well, the nest has no objects in it, so that doesn't matter. But what does matter is now we have a door icon along. Let's move this guy over along right here. Close enough. Okay. I need to keep moving, though. I don't really care about careful noise right now. Oh, this is risky. Okay. So I don't want to waste a turn by going here and then backtracking. I need to basically... I think I'd have to do a full circle here. It's a better chance of doing a full circle than risking it by going to this room, not being surgery, and then having to backtrack. Guess I'm doing 2 jumps anyway. Well, not necessarily. I guess I could go here. These are connected. That was my one action. Let's spend just 1 here. We'll spend basic... and I'm going to save that in case it's the surgery. We're going to discard full auto. I keep doing that without checking first. Okay, yeah, it wasn't a... Okay, this is actually interesting. So before I keep getting too ahead of myself here, we're on 2. Do another malfunction. discard that. Noise roll. Not all that. Noise roll. Which is a 1. I need to get rid of... I think I already got rid of that. Yeah, full auto. I think. I hope I did. If not, correct me in the comments. I'm sorry. A 1, which is corridor right here. See, this is like the end of the game where I'm getting really intense because there's a lot I still need to do. So I'm trying to keep my mind steady to fulfill everything. But hopefully I'm not missing any steps or rules. So this is an interesting room here. This monitoring room. This is perfect. This is exactly what I need. But I'm out of moves here. Next turn, I think I'm going to repair this room, and then this allows me to, without moving, I basically look at all these TV screens here, and I get to flip these rooms without moving. That's going to be a better way to search efficiently and then plan my movement here. I need to find the surgery. I need to do surgery on Frank, and then I need to sleep again. Those are my 3 objectives there. And I'm running out of turns. Hopefully, I don't know if I can actually sleep with the hibernatorium being on fire, though. Oh, let's see if that isn't a thing in the game. That'd be a special room. Okay. Okay, so try to hibernate. Yep. Perform a noise roll. Okay, yep, you cannot change destination. Okay, it just talks about if there's an intruder, so I guess I'll just fall asleep with a small fire, a trash can fire being in the corner, I guess. Before we do any of that, we need to progress through the stuff here. So that was my turn. Moving to 3. No intruder attacks, no fire. Another event card. No one's moving. Okay, the breeder's still not moving, thankfully. Now remove all intruders which are not in a room with any character from the board. And we're going to put them back in the bag. So we're going to put the breeder back in the bag here. But she is gone. So, whew, I don't know. It's getting pretty dicey. Let's go ahead and draw this one. It is another adult, so I have to make another roll. And is that going to stay on the game? It's not. Where is that going to go? Oh, it's right here. Let's do one more roll. That is a X. Oh, that's a silent. Wow. Wow, game. Wow. Beautiful. Okay, let's drop to 3 more. We need to... Okay, I've got my contamination, which doesn't mean anything right now at this point. It just means it's fluff in my hand. So that basically is taking the space of another card that could have been useful, but that's okay. I do need to do my basic repairs, though, to repair the monitoring room. So I'm going to do this, and I'm going to have to get rid of... I can't use my contamination as a card to burn with that. So I'm going to have to get rid of my other 2. However, that does mean that this guy is now good. And I actually can't... I can't spend the 2... Oh, that might have been dumb. I can't spend the 2 to search. Is this going to be a wasted turn? I'm going to have to spend 1, my nerves of steel, to do a movement and blindly move here, I think. Oh, that contamination sucks there. Well, I'm going to have to do that. So let's just see. Yep, unfortunately, it's not a silent roll, but it's surgery. It's surgery. Oh my god, it's surgery. Okay. Here we go. Okay, let's discard this guy. Move this to 2. It's freaking surgery, guys. Here we go. Okay. But it's broken, so I think I just wasted my repair on that when I could have just risked it and... dang it. Noise roll. That is a 2. Okay, so I'm making noise right here, and I'm moving here. That was my turn. That was my 1 action and 1 move. Oh man, I hope I get my basic repairs back, because I need to do surgery. I need to repair this 1 action. Next action, use the surgery. Okay, we're running out of turns here. If I can do that and then make it 1-2, I think I can win this. But I do have this one contamination card, which is scary. Let me read surgery again. Maybe I can stick around in surgery one more time to deal with a contamination card. Yep. Okay, so in addition to... I don't know. I guess I have to do that probably 2 separate actions. I don't think the game would let me... Oh, it just says to place the object in the surgery room. So I don't have to actually use the surgery action on Frank. Let me see what it says about items here. I think you can just drop for free. Drop. Okay, a character may freely drop an item, object from their hand inventory at any time during their turn without using an action. Oh, okay. So this might work out. This might work out here. Surgery. Where are you? Oh, here you are. Okay. Scan all contamination cards. If you have a larva on your character board, remove it. After scanning, your character suffers 1 light wound. But am I able to remove it? I don't think I can. Remove all infected cards. So if it's not infected, I guess I don't remove it, but I have to use a rest action. Scan all contamination cards from your action deck. From your action deck, hand, or discard. Remove all infected. So that's good. Basically, if I had a larva, if one of those larvas for some reason crawled into me, I could cut it out right now. It'd be pretty bad. After scanning, okay. So after scanning, your character suffers 1 light wound, and you automatically pass. So basically, that would be my turn. Is I would pass. I think you do the 1 action and then pass the rest. I think it's a special turn there. I could be wrong, but we're not even at that point yet. Did I just forget everything right now, what I just did? I did that. I did the silent. I did the adult silent. Okay, so yeah. I'm up to my... I get to draw. Okay, I think it's my turn. So we're going to do the 3 here. And then hopefully get my basic repairs with my 1. Oh, which I don't. But I got Nerves of Steel back. Do I pass this turn? I can't repair, and I need to repair this. So I think I pass this turn to discard a lot of cards in order to have a better chance of getting... Here's what I'll do. Okay, so I'm going to pass, which means I don't take any actions this turn, and I get to discard as many cards as I want. So what I'm going to do is to have the best chance of drawing my repair next turn, I'm going to discard my contamination. Basically all of these, because even if I get jumped, I have this card as a get out of jail free. So that is my turn, unfortunately. It was a non-turn, but I don't know, we're getting close. I don't know if I'm going to have enough time. We'll see here. Okay, switch that back because I already passed. Time track I just did. Intruder attack isn't going to work. No fire. Event cards. Another non-event. Okay, another non-event. Here we go. Another adult for some reason. There's just adults everywhere. After the game, I'll show you how many adults are in the freaking game. A 1. Is a 1 bad? A 1 is not bad. Put this guy back in the token. Okay, now it's my turn. I draw up to 4. How did that happen? Oh, how did that happen? I didn't get any of my... Oh, it's one of these 2 cards left for my repairs. Oh, that's terrible. Well, here's what I can do, though. I can do my rest. And I'm going to scan this 1 contamination card. I think that's the only way that I can do this. I don't know if I even want to do that. Scan all contamination cards in your hand. Remove all that are not infected. What do I want to do here? Do I pass again? If I pass again, though, I'm not going to have time. I'm going to have 1 turn left if I pass again. Well, while I'm at it, I can freely drop Frank in here. So that objective is now complete. Boom. Objective complete. We place the blue character corpse in the surgery room. Objective complete. Now I need to basically sleep again. So I need to sleep. I need to go back to the hibernatorium and sleep. Let me kind of read a little bit, get caught up on what happens at the end of the game if I have a contamination card, because that's going to judge on what I do next. So each alive character, either asleep in the hibernatorium or evacuated in an escape pod, check their contamination cards. The player scans all of their cards. If there's at least 1 infected card, the player shuffles all their cards and creates a new action deck, then draws the top 4. If at least 1 contamination card is in there out of those 4, I die. So, okay, I basically I want to get rid of this contamination card is what I'm saying. So I have a chance right here. If I scan it right now, I have a chance of this not being infected. If it's not infected, I remove it. I think that's what I have to do. I think that's what I have to do. So I'm going to do this as my one action. I'm going to search my deck here. Search for my 1 contamination. And here we go. We're going to place this guy over here. We're going to place him down on here. Not infected. Oh my goodness, right here. No contamination. So we actually just discard that guy. Oh man, that was good. That was good. So we are now clear of our contamination. We were not, the 1 scratch that we got was not enough to infect us. Now I'm going to do a careful movement because I don't want to do any unnecessary noise here with this 2. I'm going to do a careful movement here. Scrap these 2. Move over to here and place it. We'll place it in 3, I guess. And that's my turn. Oh, I'm running out of time, but I'm right there. I'm right there. That's my turn. Let's go ahead and move the time track. We're almost there. The ship's about to jump. Everything's looking okay though. Maybe. I don't know. There's still like 1 last check we'll see after this. Oh, this is pretty nerve-wracking here. No intruder attack, no fire damage, another event card. If this bones us, oh, this is gonna suck. Okay. Okay, place a malfunction marker in the explored room with the lowest room number. So what is the lowest room number? We have 5, 2. Do we have room number 1? 2 is our 3. 1 is the cockpit, which doesn't count, I don't think, because it's already explored. I think that's kind of how that works. So 2 would be the lowest number here. There's already a marker in here, so that doesn't matter, I don't think. Yeah, I think that doesn't actually apply. So we have to shuffle this guy back into the deck. You just said this card, right? Then shuffle this card. That might have been another non-event here. Another adult, so we're going to make another noise here. Hopefully it's something good. It's probably not going to be, though. It was a 3. Of course it was a 3 where I put that. Okay, not a big deal. Not a big deal. Not a big deal at all. I have my get out of jail free, so we're going to put this guy back in here. And we're going to draw what's going to invade us, which is another adult at a 2. Okay, so we're okay. The adult is going to join us, but is not going to attack us. Now, we have one thing here. Man, I wish that didn't happen. Wish that did not happen, because we probably are going to get another contamination card from getting hit. But I don't know. We'll see here. It's going to be our turn. It's our last turn of the game. We're going to draw 3. So we draw these 2. Shuffle. Draw 1 more. Do I have... I don't. I've got full auto, but I don't have my covering fire, which is what I really wanted there. Okay, discard all ammo. You deal 1 additional injury for every 2 ammo discarded, even if you miss. That's not going to help me. That's what I'm going to have to do, is I'm going to have to move, take the hit, and then do my action, my last action for the hibernatorium. So that's when I'm going to have to flee. So I'm going to take my 1. Let's just do full auto, I guess. So I move here. I'm going to take the hit. Okay. That actually misses because it's a breeder and a queen. So the adult missed me. Oh my gosh, this game right now. Okay. Well, that missed. No more contamination. I'm now in here with a little bit of fire, but I'm okay, I think. So now what I do, I still need to make a noise marker, which, yeah, so we'll see. Oh, that didn't really count as a roll. Roll. There we go. Don't go in the box. Another 3. This guy in 3s lately, huh? Okay, we have a 3 right here. Now, this is a very important thing here. We still have to... We're going to spin the 2. Let's go ahead and do that right now. We're going to spin the 2 cards to basically do this room's action, which is try to hibernate. Oh, okay. You may perform this action only if the hibernation chambers are open, which it is. We're going to perform 1 last noise roll. If any intruder shows up in the room, your attempt at entering the hibernation chamber has failed. If no intruder appears, remove your character miniature from the game. You manage to hibernate safely. From now on, you do not take part in the game any longer, whether your character survives or dies along with the ship, as determined by the end game. Okay, so we have 1 last very, very important roll here. We cannot roll a 3. We cannot roll a 3. If we roll a 3, we die. A 2. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, a 2. And we fall asleep here. I think we're okay here. I think we're okay, even though there's fire. I guess technically because there's fire, I'm going to end my turn, so I'm going to get 1 light wound, which is fine. I'm just kind of, you know, little sunburnt. I'm a redhead. I'm going to get a little sunburnt anyway as I hibernate. But I think everything's okay. We're going to go in here, and I'm actually going to look at the official rules. I've got the PDF on my other screen here, but victory check. Okay. We got 2 out of 3 engines going. We've got the Earth going. Contamination check. We have no more contamination cards. Objective check. We're good. I think we just won. I think we just won our very first game of Nemesis, folks. Hopefully, in the excitement and the commentary, I didn't miss any rules or mess up anything. It's all on camera, though. But I think we just won our very first game of Nemesis. Holy crap. That's nuts. That's crazy to me. This game is so hard. Oh, man. I think we did it. Yep. Oh, there it is. There it is. We did our objective here. We placed the blue character corpse. We placed the blue character corpse object in the surgery room. Done. Didn't say to do surgery. So we said, okay, Frank, there you go. The surgery room's broken, but, you know, figure it out, dude. Sorry. We're not contaminated. We got rid of our contamination token, which thankfully that was non-infected, and our rest got rid of that. The last move here, the last swipe, missed. The last roll here wasn't a 3. We got a little burnt within the fire, but that's okay. And with that, folks, that was Nemesis. Our first game. Oh, man. What are the odds of the very first time I tried to record this and I win? This game, as you see, literally we had so many rolls that worked in our favor, which has never happened. I've played this game 3 times now. We had a lot of event cards that were non-event cards. We had really good rolls there. We were smart and methodical about our careful movements. We made risk there. We made the risk of not reloading here. We had to beeline and find stuff. We got lucky with the surgery right here. Oh, man. Well, guys, if you want to see more Nemesis or any other games on tabletop here, please let me know. If you guys did like the video, I would appreciate if you guys liked the video. I know I have to do all this YouTube stuff here. We are still a very young channel. I'm trying to get that going, but if you do like the content, please click subscribe. And until then, we are safe, I guess. We're going to go back to Earth, and the jump is going to make all of the intruders die, is kind of how they word it there. And somehow Nemesis is going to dock wherever it needs to on Earth. And they're going to come back on and just see the chaos that is on here. They're hopefully going to put this fire out so I don't get burnt anymore. We're going to live another day. Oh, okay. Until then, you guys take care.